Hi everyone, it's Shari here today, and we are using Xyron products this week on the Lawn Fawn blog, and I'm going to be making a project using some of their products. I'm going to be decorating this little pail here. These are the products I'm going to be using, and I'll talk about those a little more in the video when I use them. I'm also going to be using the Watercolor Wishes paper and the Happy Hatchling die set. So basically, my idea for this project is to make some decorations for this pail that are not permanent and can be reused. So I want to make some little eggs that use the magnet tape for the back, so we can put them on there and rearrange them however we want. You can decorate the pail, you could put them on the refrigerator, you could do anything you wanted, which I think would be super fun for little kids to play with. They could put them wherever they wanted. So this tape is really easy to tear. You just tear it just like regular tape on the dispenser here, and it's very thin. So what I'm going to do is I've got a piece of cream colored cardstock here that sort of matches the color of my pail, and I'm just covering it with that tape. Now about 3 strips wide is enough for me to cut some of these eggs out of. And I was struggling a little bit, but really if you hold the tape with your other hand, it's very easy to tear. So you can see that that is wide enough for my egg to fit on, and it'll cut the whole egg. Now because my cutting mat is very cut up, the best way to cut this is to put a piece of scrap cardstock underneath, put your paper with the magnet side down, then the die, and I'm going to go ahead and add a metal shim as well. And you can see that it perfectly cut out this little egg, and the whole backside is magnetic, and it'll stick right there to my pail. So I went ahead and cut out 4 of those eggs, and that's basically the base for what I'm going to do here. So we're not going to see that cream color. I'm going to put some of this pattern paper on top of it. I'm going to be making a polka dot egg, 2 striped eggs, and also the little chick. So I'm just using some scraps for some of these. I've cut the chick and one of the egg bases out of yellow. I've cut the polka dot egg out of the aqua color. I've cut a couple more of the basic eggs out of the purple and the blue Watercolor Wishes paper. And I'm going to use the striped egg to cut some green and some pink. And you can see I'm using scraps here, and I usually try to keep my scraps around as long as they're big enough that they can be used for things like this. The striped egg cuts out 5 pieces, but I'm actually only going to use 2 stripes of each one, and you'll see that here in just a little bit. So I've gone ahead and cut out the green, and I'm going to do the same thing with some pink here. And I cut out another little aqua colored egg there, and that'll be for my chicken. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the base colors that I'm using, which is a purple, a yellow, and a blue, onto my egg bases that I've created that have the magnet on the back. So I'm using the Xyron Mega Runner for this because I have a nice solid big piece of paper. This works really well for really big pieces of paper like on cards, but I can cover it pretty well with that. When it's because it's very wide, but when it's a larger piece of paper, it's easier to cover with this than a small piece would. So now I've got my base eggs here, and then I'm going to use the sticker maker here for my other parts. So for the polka dot cover here, what you do is you just stick it in there, pull it through, and the 2 pieces will go together. It basically makes it into a big sticker. And I'm going to use my bone folder to just make sure all that sticky stuff is stuck to the liner paper there. And then when I pull it off, where there is no paper, the sticky will stick to that clear piece, and I can just throw that away. And now my other piece is basically a big sticker. Because this had some little bitty holes, there was a little bit of adhesive in the holes, so I just kind of cleaned that up with my paper piercer there. It was super easy just to kind of push that in there. And now I can line it up with my yellow egg, so my yellow polka dots will show through. And the whole front will be nice and stuck down on all the edges, because that sticker maker makes adhesive go on every part of that piece of paper. So there's the polka dot egg. Now I'm going to do the same thing with my striped eggs. And as I said before, I'm only going to be using 2 of the stripes. So I'm going to be using the ones that are next to the top and next to the bottom. So it'll look something like this. I'm going to do the same thing for the blue egg with the pink stripes. So I'm going to take those two die cut pieces that I want to use, the green ones and the pink ones, and I'm just going to stick those in the sticker maker as well and pull them on through. Tear that off and make sure it's kind of pushed down. I like to use the bone folder to get the edges really good, but you can use your finger, it works great. And so now these four stripes will all have the sticky adhesive on the entire backs of them. So to line up my stripes, what I did was I took the bottom piece, and it has no adhesive on it. I'm just going to line it up at the bottom. And then I'm going to take the stripe that goes on top. I'm just going to hold that in place, and then I can stack the stripe on there and get it placed perfectly. I can use the middle stripe just to lay it in there. Again, no adhesive on that. And then I can stack that stripe in there, and I can just remove the two pieces that don't have any adhesive on it, and now my stripes are lined up perfect. You're going to see I'll do the same thing with the aqua colored egg. Actually, that was wrong. The blue egg. The aqua colored egg I'm going to use on the chicken. So I tried to use all 6 of the watercolor wishes colors in my 3 eggs. I'll just get those stripes lined up just perfectly, and then I can remove the ones that don't have any adhesive. And then I could keep those to make a different striped egg. Now for the little chicken, I didn't decide to run him through the sticker maker because the wings will stick out past the eggs. So I'm using the Mega Runner for that. I'm going to color with some black marker here where it'll look, or see through the eyes there, so that his eyes will be nice and black. I also think some little Google eyes would look really cute on this little chicken. And I could use some orange cardstock, but I got a little lazy, so I just used this scrap piece of cardstock, colored it with an orange marker, and then I can run the die that comes with this set that makes the little feet and the beak. But I'm actually not going to use the feet on this particular chicken. I'm going to use the aqua colored egg that I cut earlier and use the little broken egg die. And I'm going to place it towards the bottom so he looks like he's sitting in the egg. And then I'll just add that to the bottom. Now for the beak, I just put a little bit of glue on the back of it, just using a glue dot. And look, it sticks right on there. Super easy. I would show it to you on my refrigerator too, but unfortunately my refrigerator is not magnetic. But I just think this is super fun, so you could put them wherever you want, and then you could take them off and play with them and put them on other things. So here's a closer look at it on that cream colored bucket, as well as this teal kind of lacy pail that I found in the dollar section at Target. Both of these things came from there, and I just think you could have fun and decorate lots of stuff. Thanks for watching. Have an amazing day. Bye.